day at a time. But you could go to jlptalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingdemand.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and study. And also, we have thefatherstate.tv. Ring the bell. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Appreciate you tuning in. How you doing, everybody? On this fine Wednesday, we made it to Wednesday. We're rocking and rolling. White History Month up, out, and everything. Okay, get them out. How you doing? Welcome. Okay, stream dead. Am I live? Holler at me, folks, if I'm live. I'm connecting to Stack. Are the people in the office hearing me? Am I live? Stream's dead. Stream gone. Let me refresh. Folks, you might be hearing me. This has happened before. People say this only happens on my channel. But if I'm live, if you're hearing me right now, do not fret. I will continue. Welcome, everybody. If you're not hearing me. Oh, chat is going. Boom. I don't know, some internet stuff. But it must be just this laptop because I bet you I've been live this whole time. So thank you for tuning in, okay? 888-775-3773. You want to call the Anchor Baby here about whatever you want to talk about. Got something on your mind? Got something to say? Got something on your mind? The Anchor Baby will be patient. He will be patient. Are we doing affirmations right now? Is that what we're doing? No, come on. There's no way we've devolved to affirmations. Anchor Baby affirmations. Imagine if you needed Anchor Baby affirmations. Who needs Anchor Baby affirmations? Maybe I shouldn't knock the idea before I find out if people want to pay money. No. Imagine needing Anchor Baby affirmations. I film myself just giving you, you're great. You're going to be amazing today. You're powerful and young. Powerful young Chad. How you doing? Powerful young Terry. Powerful young KT. Powerful young Carver. I'm giving myself affirmations. The Anchor Baby will be patient, okay, if you want to call the Anchor Baby. And we got some things to get into here. And we're going to kick it off with what people are talking about. Biden, Kamala, all that stuff. But we will take it where we take it, okay? There's some interesting things that you might find fascinating alongside with me. So we'll get into all of it. 888-775-3773. What's up, DLive.tv? I didn't forget about you. Appreciate that, Beta Legs. How you doing? Gorgonzola over there at DLive. And X. I know, we'll fix the bird. That's true. Someone mentioned this a while ago and I forgot. The bird's got to change. It's an X. Maybe that's why I keep calling it Twitter. There's a bird over my head. But I am on x.com/Gorgonzola. At Gorgonzola. What? Someone's got to explain some of this lore. Someone's got to explain this lore. Why there are factions in my chat similar to the factions in America, the shadowy factions in our politics that we can't. It seems like we're seeing the ripples of what may be going on in the background. Still quite unclear. There's been people talking about deep state and stuff for many years. Did we see the ripples in the water of the beast? The Loch Ness Monster? Are we seeing the ripples? Strange times. So similar to those factions, there's factions there's pro-Ray. Who's Ray? Ray? You talking about Ray? Like from Trailer Park Boys? Like Ray's liquor sauce? Like, that's the way she goes? Because I'm pro-Ray from Trailer Park Boys. So there's factions in the chat. There's factions in America, and it's all just political. It's all just fights. And, that one, I don't know why I don't believe that. Shout out Ray. Not the Ray you guys are talking about. I'm not getting involved, okay? I'm not getting involved. You say one thing. You start saying, look, let me put it like this. You start saying things like, well, I don't know. I mean, these Ray people, they seem a certain way. Now you're suddenly an anti-Ray, an anti-Raymite. And suddenly you align with a bunch of things you weren't saying. It's like it's a tough time to be an individual. An individual wouldn't say that, but the world just wants you to be on a side, to align, to fit in somewhere. So anyways, you guys duke it out. I appreciate you being in the chat and duking it out. It might get distracting for some of you at home, but hey, support the Anchor Baby. That's one way. Get into the comments. Go into the comment section and leave a written out comment as opposed to a live one. Tickle the algorithm. Maybe tell the Anchor Baby what he can improve on. For that is some love for your brother. No, I got a whole bunch of Christians calling me who don't like what I say. But they don't even want to tell me. No, okay. Anyways, appreciate you being here. Lucky Larry with the super chat there. The Bond mods are racist. Ray. Yeah, but Ray, the thing about Ray is he hits the sauce, and I'm talking about Trailer Park Boys. See, now here I go get involved. See, the thing about Ray is he hits the sauce, and it's just another guy. Now that really is going to sound like I'm talking about this Ray person, but I'm really not. I don't know what the heck y'all are talking about. But thanks for having fun in the Anchor Baby chat. Appreciate it. Buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. I'll read those as well. But I want to make sure I've read them all. Thank you, Lucky Larry. Much appreciated. So we've seen him. We've seen Biden. We've laid eyes on Biden, maybe? No, we have. Not maybe. Not maybe. President Joe Biden departs Dover, Delaware, en route to Joint Base Andrews, then White House, seen boarding Air Force One. In what is seen for the first time since ending his campaign, Joe Biden, and endorsing Kamala Harris. Deep endorsements to the coalescing of support delegates and all that. Back in Kamala Harris. People are wondering, where the heck is Biden, though? You know, it was a big announcement Sunday. Came down. Kamala's at some live event. She gets this call. She gets this call from Biden. I played it for you yesterday. It was just so strange. You know, and for whatever reason, they didn't show him on camera. It was just Joe Biden's voice. Trying to play this video. Come on. YouTube, Forbes. This is from Forbes. Joe Biden. He's not dead. I know people in my chat were saying he was dead. People all up in my chat were saying he was dead. Come on, it was weird that he didn't show when he called Kamala Harris. And you know, I had my theories. I had my own theories, I guess, on just COVID, not looking good, under the weather, whatever, for whatever reason. Bad timing and all that, but hey, Kamala must go on. So they did it the way they did it. That was my opinion. That's just my opinion. Maybe, whatever. The point is that people who are in my chat were saying he's dead. He's not. Look, we're seeing him, according to Forbes. Hold on. There we go. Nice, Joe Biden. With a point and a... Look at that swagger? Stiff swagger. You don't know it. You wouldn't know it if... You wouldn't know stiff swagger. Look, you don't know... You got to be at this level. We're praising Joe Biden. I'm messing around, just joking, but you need to see him so that we may quell any conspiracies, okay? Quelling the conspiracies. And I was wondering about the whole vibe, the presentation of that call. It was strange. I definitely stick by that. Daily Mail, Biden was deathly pale. According to these Daily Mail reporters who are close to Biden, they're saying he was deathly pale. Daily Mail's reporter on board reveals incredible inside story of the mad rush to get Joe to COVID isolation and why she feared for him. And so, yeah, that's what we get here. Along all these ads, Daily Mail. Less than 30 minutes ago, my colleagues in the White House press corps and I had received word just before the rest of the world that President Joe Biden had been diagnosed with COVID. You remember that. Now we are joining him on a mad rush back from Las Vegas to the Biden's beach getaway in Delaware, by which that stay has been extended. Moments after fastening my seatbelt, the massive engines of the presidential 747 rode to life. the flight attendants, blah, blah, blah. The plane went, no Wi-Fi, because, you got to be secure on Air Force One. A little bit of color to the story. A doctor always travels with the president, but no word came on the type of care he was receiving or how ill he was. They're on the plane. They're wondering, can we get some word? They even asked Karine Jean-Pierre. Twice we asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who was also on board, to give us an update on Biden's condition. Twice we were denied. Even if she had spoken to us, there would have been no way to know what was coming. That the president wouldn't be seen again in public for nearly a week, right? And so that's pretty much how it went down. So he went away for a week there. And it's in that week that he called Kamala. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. He's like sick, and he had to call in a certain way. That's my opinion on that and why he called in and all that. Okay, so a week, looking sick, they put him away, and then the news, right? Kamala Harris taking the reins here and winning enough support to clinch Democratic nomination. So that's the development on that one for you. BBC. Okay. It looks like they are big time going with it. This is the move. Vice President Harris has secured the support of a majority of Democratic delegates to become the party's nominee. A survey by the AP said she received endorsement of more than 1,976 needed to win the nomination. It becomes official when party delegates hold a roll call ahead of next month's Democratic National Convention. Oh, so next month they're having this Democratic convention, kind of like the Republicans. They're doing it later. Next month. So that's interesting. The reason being because I guess we'll see. Like, doesn't this leave space for Kamala Harris actually not being accepted? Obviously, she's getting all these delegates. She's getting all the support. Chuck Schumer did the Obamas already. All these people. But I guess this little line here is interesting. It becomes official when party delegates hold a roll call vote ahead of next month's Democratic National Convention. So basically, if we'll see, this is when we'll see if there's any contention. If they're going to go all in and, okay, we're just going to be Democrats together, not fight about it, or actually we don't want Kamala. So that's just the news there, okay? Straight up. Delegates are the people who are selected to represent their electoral area. Their pledges of support are non-binding until the vote, but unlikely to change. Okay. Little bit on that, okay? She got the delegates, the support, the Democrats, Schumer and all these people. And so it's seemingly clear that she's the one they're going with, okay? She's the one they're going with. I know that the Republican, I've seen some of the response in, like I mentioned yesterday. Some desire from the team to hit at Kamala for incarcerating people, specifically black people. Like, hey, blacks, remember she put you in jail, so vote for Trump. So I've seen some of that, and I know I showed you yesterday the quote from Susie Wiles saying that for every Karen we lose, we're happy because we are going to gain an Enrique and a Jamal. So I'm sure they got to do something with the women too, right? You can't lose the ladies. I mean, you're already the Christian side, and it's like, oh, Project 2025, abortion. But the thing about that is, that's a lose. I don't know if there's a win there. You see, the people are retardando. Their hearts are wicked. And you just gotta wag the right thing in front of them. It's crazy. That's not a job I'd want, having to navigate that, because it's the same thing Trump has to navigate. And the thing you gotta wag in front of the women is, women's reproductive rights. Women's reproductive rights. You know, you think Kamala Harris, whatever, right? No one likes her. She's not even really black. She's Indian. Kamala's going to the top. You know, she's just an Indian woman. They're not going to vote for her. Joe Biden said, if you don't know who to vote for, then you ain't black. They're not doing it. I don't know if you quite understand what's going on. I don't know if you quite understand the TikTok generation. Oh, wait, hold on. The TikTok generation.
You know what they say. Never waste a Friday night on a first date. But there I was, in my heels with my hair straight. And so I took him to this bar. This man wouldn't dance. He didn't ask a single question. And he was wearing these fugly jeans. It doesn't matter though. He doesn't have what it takes to be with a girl like me.
What the hell? What in the... So, I don't know if they understand the TikTok generation. Look, you're laughing. You're this is ridiculous. You're like, oh, the F is this garbage. But this is the female vote. This is the female vote. It's that simple. It's that easy, folks. And then throw in a little bit of reproductive rights and all these other rights, okay? And it's just that easy. And it's just that easy. Oh, I mean, this is America, someone. Come on. And this ego thing is out of control. This is enough. You got to understand where I'm coming from. It's time for a woman. It's time for a boss lady. That is the level of thought of your American brethren, your voters. That is the thinking. It's time. It's just time. It's just time. It's just simply time. Don't you know this? So I don't know how I don't know. I mean, they have the vote. So you got to do a little a little bit of pandering. Anyways, it's definitely not something I'd want to navigate. All this politics. It's so annoying. Not something I don't envy these people. And I know we could criticize all day. But yeah, I definitely don't envy their job. What they got to navigate, and these women are just gonna go. They really, that's all they're thinking of. They will come out en masse and vote against the taking away reproductive rights, etc. You know this. You know this. It's just a big fight, and I guess this is America now. If it's not Kamala, it's her boss. It's, I don't know, some lady, suited up. And they got Beyonce. Kamala Harris walks out to Beyonce's Freedom at first official campaign visit. She walks out to some song, okay? This is why I caught my attention. Because she walks out to some song called Freedom by Beyonce. And I can't say I know it. Not a song I know. But I Google it. So we got this woman, Queen Bee, they call her. Feminist, is that fair? Is she a total feminist? But they got her. They got her and her song. basically gave Kamala Harris permission to use this song as her campaign song. And it's not the one that goes, freedom, freedom. That one is by Wow Hassan. That'd be funny. Wow Hassan has given Kamala Harris the rights to use freedom. No, we're talking about Beyonce, and that comes from an album called Lemonade. And this is totally fitting. This actually is totally fitting. Freedom is the song out of this album. Lemonade. An album that is an infamous album, I guess. Look, 6th studio album released in 2016. You remember this? Maybe you don't, because you don't care about this stuff. But at the time, the Anchor Baby, he had a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend. Okay, this was when? So we're talking 2016, huh? 2016. Let's go. Trying to put myself back in the shoes of that person. That Anchor Baby. That person was still an Anchor Baby. Lemonade, studio album by Beyonce. So she releases this album and goes on tour. Big old tour and all that. And she goes to Toronto, Ontario, in Canada to do one of these legs of her concert. And I don't know, I had a girl at the time, and I forget what at the time, what I was thinking. It was something along the lines like, because I'm the type, I don't buy birthday presents. I just don't do that. I don't buy gifts, birthday presents. I just don't do it. I might think of something might come up. I might see something that someone would use and that will be useful to them or something. But I don't do that. I never do. And I think I was feeling a little guilty. Feeling a little beta, feeling a little guilty. We're going like a couple birthdays at this point. And I'm like, I just bought some tickets. I think I just bought some tickets to this Beyonce thing. I'm like, let's go. She's like, oh, great, let's go. We're pretty young, too. I mean, well, not that young, but young enough where it's not like she had some connection to Beyonce. I don't even know why I thought of this. Maybe she played some songs. I forget what it was. So we go to this stupid concert. I'm like, whatever, this is just a birthday thing. And the whole thing is this anti-man thing. That's what Lemonade was. Lemonade was this this huge, like, it was just like 9-song, what is it? Production of black feminism, of anti-man, anti-white, anti-weird. It was strange. The imagery, just the lyrics itself. And I'm sitting there and I was so mad. I was so mad. You got to understand how I'm trying to describe what I was sensing at the time, but I just didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know about people and human nature myself enough to know what was going on, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. But I now know why. Because I was sensing something then that I had put myself in a situation I shouldn't have been in. And you see this stuff now. You see this stuff happening today with these guys. They're going with their girls. They go to maybe I guess depends on the concert. But let's say, for example, what's the thing today? Taylor Swift. Isn't she all like feminista too? It's like a humiliation ritual, I've heard it called. Bringing your boyfriend, to the Taylor Swift concert. But see, I put myself in this situation and I had like sensed what I had done. I'm like, wait a second, there's something totally wrong about this. I'm telling you, Trump hadn't really hit me then. It was all spidey senses at this point. It was purely spidey senses. And I sat down. I did not stand up. I just sat down. I'm not standing up. She's like up there, like, no, I'm not standing up. I want to go. I just didn't know what exactly was going on. I just didn't know exactly what was going on. I just now know that I was sensing back then I had walked into a humiliation ritual. And I remember looking around, looking for other guys that were their girls. It was mostly women, but I didn't see any of the guys that were too happy. And if they were, we'll just leave it at that because we be judging. Anyways, I don't know why today's story time, Frederick. But Lemonade, Freedom, the song for Kamala Harris, it's just too perfect for the incoming America. It's just too fitting. It's just too fitting. And you know, and this is the thing. Well, what am I going to say now? Just simply that this is exciting to the ladies. I know a lot of them. This is exciting. Yeah, girl boss, reproductive rights, and castrate them, right? It's like crickets suddenly. Only the women are cheering now. It's like, what? I know I'm being hyperbolic a little bit. Maybe a lot of it. But, yeah. Lemonade, Kamala, it's just too fitting. Way too fitting. Ah, wow. Wow. Incredible. I'll tell you in a second. Thank you so much to this person. I got to thank this person who is an anonymous benefactor. You know, it's so funny. I just pulled up this Elon Musk tweet. I was just about to mention how he's apparently not donating $45 million a month. I don't know if you saw Trump saying that. And I believe President Trump was just repeating some news he may have heard. And the news was Elon Musk is pledging $45 million a month to the campaign.
Mr. Musk, are you still going to donate to Trump?
Might be a lie.
Do you still donate $45 million? I'm sorry?
At no point did I say that I was donating $45 million a month to Trump. That was a fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal.
Fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal, says Elon Musk about this monthly donation to Trump. Yeah. Turns out that might not be true. Turns out, I know he did come out pledging his support for the president. Not an insignificant thing, Silicon Valley and all these things. People who, well, not just the people behind the scenes, but I mean, just overtly the fans and the influence maybe Elon Musk may have overtly in the mainstream. But man, I was just talking about this. I was just about to mention this donating thing, and someone donated to me quite a generous amount here. So thank you so much to this anonymous benefactor who's requesting something I can't do right now. Thank you. We'll get it done. He wants VR. I don't know. She. They want to do this VR stuff. Saying, Nick, I really enjoy when you're out there talking in the VR stuff. I'll leave it at that. I won't. I don't know if they want me to read this out, but thank you so much, Hot Dog Gang. What do you guys? I mean, we're doing evening shows tomorrow, Friday, the rest of the week. So, nameless benefactor, don't go too far. Hit the notification bell and all that, because we're gonna get down with the hot dog. Look, we got a benefactor. VR stuff is good. I think it's mixed. People get a mix. I think it's mixed. Some people like it, some people don't. Apparently, some people like it a lot. And let's do it, okay? I do appreciate it. I almost want to switch over to my other computer. Very nice. We'll get it done, okay? So thank you so much. So generous. We'll definitely be doing evening streams the rest of the week, and we'll be getting in plenty of VR that way, okay? How about that? Huh? I know that Biden is set to speak tonight, no? He's speaking later today. And isn't Netanyahu, like Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister for Israel, talking right now? Is he all done? Netanyahu spoke in a fiery speech to Congress, defends war in Gaza. I don't know if you saw any of this, but that was just not even that long ago. And so Biden's supposed to speak later today, 8 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know. I mean, I'm just like here wrestling with my nameless benefactor here and about going live on my other computer. But what the heck do we really want to watch? Like, he's going to say Kamala Harris should be president. Okay, that's what's going to go down. Okay, I think we could be a little patient for the rest of this week, huh? But yeah, Netanyahu meeting with, he was invited by Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, right? Speaker of the Republicans. Mike Johnson inviting Bibi Netanyahu over. During such a tumultuous time, my reactions, without seeing any of his speech or really any commentary on this at all, as someone who, as someone who doesn't have, I've never seen a leader of another country. This may be normal, but I've been following since 2016. This may be totally normal. I've never seen like a leader of another country other than Zelensky, right? Only during war, these war times, this extenuating circumstances, come to address Americans and Congress and all that. I only saw that with Zelensky. And I remember the scoff, I guess, what's it called? I guess, yeah, the flippant attitude. Is that fair to say about the Republicans? They had a kind of like scoffing attitude towards it. Like Ukraine. Okay, whatever, Zelensky's here begging for money. Or was that just commentary in the news and all that? Not really from Congress. I'm getting the impression Congress, like Republicans, establishment Republicans, were poo-pooing Ukraine and Zelensky when he came. Now Bibi is up in here, and you got the Democrats going, whatever. I'm getting the Democrats going like, I'm seeing that. So, I mean, what? In my ignorance, I can conclude they have some connection to it, Israel, this Christian thing. But is it anything else? And why? And why is the opposition with Ukraine and the rift between Democrat and Republican? Aren't both kind of you hear one is characterized, they're both characterized as, well, the oppressor and all that, but America is according to the left, America's supporting the oppressors in Israel and not supporting the oppressors, the Russian oppressors invading Ukraine. So that's how it's characterized. Some of us despise fascists like Zelensky. So things I see, things I notice. My what's it called? What I'm trying to say with seeing a leader of war come here during a wartime, come here and talk to the people. I get the same kind of like, not scoffing, but I feel neutral, pretty uncaring, I guess, to all of it. I feel pretty neutral, like, particularly in these times of conflict, so to speak, right? We're like, this election's coming up. It seems like people are duking it out more than ever. They're fighting at the campuses. Now they're going to protest. They probably already did, right? They probably already went to protest Netanyahu. And this has just been years of conflicts that have even raged and boiled over into the streets, Black Lives Matter, blah, blah, blah. It seems, so as an ignorant person, my reaction to all that is wrong energy, wrong timing, and rife, just way too easy to use politically. Look how Black Lives Matter was used, this Palestinian versus the Jews crap. I don't want, like, the confusion and the crap is just too much for our American politics. That's like my first initial reactions, right? I have to say though, my instinct, something about instinctually, I somehow instinctually know that in my ignorance, that's not quite an answer to the world, in that it seems like a lot of people are quick to say, well, what we should and shouldn't be doing where. But I think both in Ukraine and Israel, you can make a pretty good case why we should be. And why we should be kind of handling things and making friends with the right people, including Israel. So that's my instinct. So you understand where I'm coming from? My reaction to foreign politics in these times of conflict, but also the ignorance of geopolitics, that we might have a good reason to do all this business with all that area. Look, anyways, those are my instincts and all that. They're talking about the war, and there's a big holdup. Basically, there's a big holdup on these discussions over these what do they call them? The hostages. I didn't know Americans were. I saw Trump and Vance talk. I didn't know that American hostages in Gaza. I didn't know that there were Americans over there. Yeah, U.S. citizens. But what can I say? What was I saying? Yeah, my instinct tells me if there's friends we should have over there, it should be the Jews, no? Right? They're like, anyways, I do have a lot of ignorance on these things. But some people in the chat seem to read my mind, and it's like, you don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking very little about this, okay? I'm trying to give you some of the news and whatever, okay? I don't want to see war. But isn't this, I'm starting to think, I'm looking at Netanyahu, Zelensky, the attention, and tell me if I'm wrong here. You can call me, 888-775-3773, but it doesn't, for all the arguments you can make that we should be there, that we should have a control over the region, that it's not just endless foreign wars, and it's like, okay, there's something that makes sense about all that. Why doesn't it feel like we're the ones controlling these deals and these agreements, this relationships? That's just my impression. I can't even tell you why, but it's just my impression. Why doesn't it feel like, hey, we're the ones running the deal? And I'm starting to think, is this what maybe third world countries kind of feel like? Like, think about it. Fake influence. You get these politicians, you vote for them, you don't get the things they tell you, oh, we promised you this, but we just couldn't do it. It's politically too tough. It'll turn people off. All the excuses you hear. It seems to be coming to a head more than ever, where you got the nominee, Joe Biden, suddenly giving it up all of a sudden. That wasn't a coup from the Democrats. That wasn't pressure from the Democrats. It wasn't like planned, and you got people clandestinely working things out and saying, okay, now it's time we deploy Kamala. No. You got it. So it seems to be more visible than ever, these things in the shadows. fake influence. Your politicians, left and right, don't do what they say. And in some cases, many cases, you see in some ripples of them being influenced by something other than the interest of the American people. I start thinking, and again, you got to understand where the anchor baby's coming from, kind of from bird's eye view, instinctually far away. He's learning many things about politics, whatever, but not getting too into it because, like, a lot of those people don't know what they're talking about. You start thinking, this is what third world countries are like. Just influence peddling and corruption and people aligned to everything but the people and the rule and the will of the people as the government is supposed to be set up, right? The American government, at least. This has to be this starting to feel like some foreign A-ish. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking you're just gonna see more of this. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? You know what I mean? Like, we'll just see it more as this decline deepens. Or am I crazy? Come on. So anyways, third world countries influence. You know, what can I say? Kind of some of the things happening right now. But I do want to kind of switch gears here a little bit. That's politicking. Some of the things I had saved away. You know, you wanted to mention, okay? I do enjoy saying ish. It perks the ears, but then you don't, and then you think, well, why am I offended? What did he even say? He said possibly. He possibly said a suffix without a word at all. Just suffix. All suffix, no word. So is he really saying anything offensive? Ish. Bluish. Jewish? You know, they just Jewish, right? You know they're just Jewish. You know that? Have you ever heard that? I hear that. You know, I heard that. You know where I heard that the other day? I'm driving down Western. I'm going north down Western. We're in Los Angeles, California for this one. Going up Western. And and I hit the Wiltern. The Wiltern, which is on Wilshire Boulevard and Western. It's this green-looking, old-looking building, to be honest. But they still have concerts there. I see them line up every now and then. Not every now and then, all the time, pretty much, whenever I pass by it. It's an old-looking building, and I always wonder every time I pass by, these top rooms up here, like, is any of this, like, is there anybody up there? It looks it looks worse than this. These windows over here are all graffitied and look like they've never been opened, or at least not for like a decade. I wonder about all this. But yeah, they have concerts and stuff. People line up, they go in, and I'm passing by, and right across the Wiltern is like, what, like a train station or something? It's like a square. It's like, and there's the Hebrew Israelites. They're, I guess, not black Hebrew Israelites. They're just Hebrew Israelites. And they're yelling. They're just yelling at the people. They're all wearing this black purple regalia, black Hebrew Israelite regalia. And they're out there yelling at people. They're like, you, listen to me. It was so funny. I know I've always heard about them out there and all that. I've seen the videos where the white people are passing by them and they're like, kiss my boot. Kiss my boot. Where is my super suit? And so I saw them and I heard that line, Jewish. They only Jewish. And I was driving, so I did not hear their reasoning, which I'm sure they had reasoning for, right? Hey, who knows the argument on this one? Who knows the argument? Is it really just like they're just making like a language argument? Are they really just saying because it's called Jewish, it means not really Jewish? Like, who's got the take? Who's got the? I guess maybe we don't need to get down on that. Who cares? But I'm sure they had a reasoning for it. I'm sure it's not just because someone is saying just because it's called Jewish and not Jew. I'm sure the Israelites have well thought out deep reasoning on this, right? Right? You know who has a well thought out, maybe not necessarily always just well thought out, but who's thought it out a little bit more than they're willing to say? Huh? You know who's thought it out a bit and is happy doing what they're doing? Pretty much most people. Pretty much everybody. Okay? Did you know that? That pretty much everybody's happy doing what they're doing. Like, at least 99% of people are quite happy with the lives they have. Despite what they may say, despite what they may think, despite what they may be if they do all sorts of things. Pretty much everybody has the life they want. And there's so many examples and things that I think about when I think about this. But what made me think about it initially was this story on Daily Mail. And the headline starts off like this: Chateau Marmont. Ooh, you know the anchor baby. You know the anchor baby. Clicked on that right away. The Chateau Marmont. The Chateau? I don't even call it Chateau Marmont anymore. I just call it the Chateau, like people should know. And you should know, because I worked at the Chateau. I saw celebrities. And at the Chateau, I saw Chateau. Of course, I'll click on the link. Any chance I get, right? Any chance I get, throw this out. I'm not supposed to say that part, right? Chateau Marmont insider reveals what the hotel really thinks about Bianca Censori's skimpy outfits and whether or not she's welcome at the $774 a night property. Dang. Kind of maybe cheaper for the celebrities, maybe, but it's their little cheap getaway in LA. Bianca Censori. I was not working at the Chateau when she was frequenting, maybe even alongside Kanye West, who I believe is her husband, no? She's been known to walk around the world, globetrotting and nary a thread on her body, garnering the negative attention of the press and pretty much everywhere she's gone with her husband. And what do you get? What do you get when you see all this? Kanye's this abuser. Kanye's crazy. He's so crazy. He's got her wrapped up in his crazy now. He left his wife, and it's all the beautiful Northwest and Kim, and they're just doing so well, and they have no problems. And Kanye's just wrapped up Bianca. You've seen that? Come on. It's pretty much what all I saw. There were even people trying their best. They're like, no, amongst all the yelling. Amongst all the unified yelling, her body, her choice, her body. You hear somebody say, "No, but it is her." Bianca likes dressing like that. It's gone. Kanye West is an abuser, but Bianca, she did that on her own. I thought I heard that somewhere in the ether. It's gone now. May have been one of her family members or something. But yeah. We're zeroing in on this for many reasons, not just because it's Chateau Marmont in Los Angeles where the anchor baby worked at. Bianca apparently stays there a lot. She comes here all the time. I always know when she's here because there's always a lot of paparazzi. Bianca's skimpy outfits sparked outrage in Italy, and moreover, she and her husband, Kanye West, were banned by a Venetian water taxi company after taking part in a very risque act. Allegedly, they don't put allegedly here, but Maybe, who cares? Sensory style is welcomed at the famous Los Angeles landmark. I remember I was kind of fresh to LA. Started working at the Chateau Marmont. I had arrived already with someone had put stuff in my head. And I didn't like believe it, but I had a blank slate besides like maybe palm trees and stuff. This is how ignorant I can be sometimes. I had a blank slate in my mind of California. And this guy was like, hey, you don't know about Mulholland Drive? You don't know about like satanic stuff and all that? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I heard Charles Manson, bro. And so I get here, I start working at the Chateau, and I see like swirls. I see these like swirly symbols in this in the like the foyer area where there's this like record player and there's a whole bunch of books. There's bookcases. You can go there actually. You can go to the Chateau, go to the bar, have a drink, sit down in the lounge area, throw on one of the records, and I see these little swirly symbols and other symbols and weird books of like just weird things. Obviously, I'm thinking now they maybe lean into stuff like that. I don't really know. Look, I don't know. But that's the only thing I had in my mind. So I'm like, oh, it's true. Joking a little bit. But I'm like, wow, isn't that like a pedophile symbol? The swirl thing? Anyways. What a mess. That's why you got to be careful with the mind and everything it serves. You have a little space with all things it serves. But here's the story of Bianca. The point here is that she likes doing this. And it's clear here when, where is it? Asked about the outfit, the valet shrugged. She always dresses like that. He's far from alone in thinking that attitude. Guest hotel and friends of Bianca's all say the same thing. It's not something I'd wear, but if she wants to, that's for her, said a friend. Apparently. Of Bianca, look. And that's true, honestly, for pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. The abused woman, the little abused, the woman who's been abused. And all that. It's pretty much always true. Tell me why I'm wrong. The bar. This is spoiler alert, sharing a little picture of the bar. Now the bar looks familiar, but I think the rest looks a little different. Or am I not remembering correct? Chateau Marmont. I'm trying to remember the name of this producer guy. And, it's the craziest thing. I've been trying to remember the name of this producer, director guy who has some fame in Hollywood. And he's older now. He looked like a old individual. He looked like Ozzy Osbourne-ish in his age and similar maybe health or whatever. He had this long hair, this long straight hair, and he had this crazy like look. Just kind of like this long hair, but this it wasn't exactly nice. It was like his hairline was back here, so it was long and straight, and like that part of his hair was like nice. Shampooed and all that, but up here it was like forehead, his hairline was back. He looked like, I don't know how else to describe it, but he looked like Lucifer. Like he was all like charming and like everyone spoke about him so highly, and I can't remember his name. And I did room service. I remember I went up to do room service. So the way room service worked at the Chateau sometimes is, you have this cart, and you have this like cart, and the cart itself is equipped with like a cooking stove and light heating elements, and you can like do some depending on the dish or whatever's being brought up. You kind of prepared it halfway. It's already cooked, but you halfway. You spin the bolognese. You spin the $40 bolognese onto the plate so it's plated nicely and stuff like that. It's already cooked, and I did room service. It was just the weirdest thing. And there's a block in my mind what that person's name was. It's a total block. Any Googling, anything I do, it just gets farther and farther. I don't know if I got cursed. I don't know if this is a hex so that he may not be found out, but strange goings-ons at the Chateau Marmont. I want to switch to health. I want to switch to something with health. I want to switch to, let's spend some time watching something I came across that you might find fascinating, okay? You might find this fascinating, and this is pretty much the last thing I got for y'all. Okay, we're going technology with this one. The medical industry and the mentality of the country and why things will not get better until this is identified, at least. Like identified and watched. Oh, yeah, that looks familiar. That's the Chateau bar. I saw Robert Downey Jr. there. See, right through that door is the kitchen. That's right through that little thing is the kitchen. This is not where the record player is. The record player is down to the left this way. And that's where that lounge area is. This is the little bar area. And Robert Downey Jr., I saw him there. You know, he did the funniest... I saw the funniest thing with Robert Downey Jr. We might have to play it tomorrow. Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. I saw the funniest thing. And he's like, I don't know if he's doing like... It almost seems like he's doing a Terrence Howard impression. I don't know if... Remember this guy that was on Joe Rogan? And he was like, man, the pyramids and, you know, like, you're being psychically attacked, man. You don't understand. But anyways, many asides, many tangents. Look, we're freestyling. It's a fun day here, Wednesday, Anchor Baby Show. We got more coming at you. Evening shows for the rest of the week, remember. But I was just going to tell you about Gooby. He may go by Gooby. He's a neurosurgeon, basically. MIT-educated neurosurgeon. And he's going viral. He's going viral. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, major viral. Wow, 9 million views. For quitting, basically. He quit his job being a neurosurgeon, 9-year medical career, doing surgeries. We're talking some of the most sensitive surgeries you can think of. Neurosurgeries. No. And so he posts this video. I was an MIT-educated neurosurgeon. Now I'm unemployed and alone in the mountains. How did I get here? Turns out he gave it up because of the system. He's quite unhappy with the system. Now, it's a long video. Now, how should I do this? I do have some clips, but I also have a lot of time. And, yeah, so if you want to call in, I'll take your call here, 888-775-3773. But let's get into this video here. It's from Gooby and Doobie is the name of the channel. Dr. Gooby. That's just the channel name, not his name. And why he gave up his medical career. Yes, let's do it. We have some time here. We'll skip through some parts. Like I said, I'll get to call if you do call in. But, you know, it comes in waves, the calls. Let's do this. We have this to do. And I think you'll find it interesting if you're with me.
Hi, I'm Gooby from Gooby and Doobie. So I used to be a neurosurgeon. I went to college at MIT and Did 4 years of medical school and 6 years of neurosurgery training, and I was a neurosurgeon for almost 10 years after all of that. So that's 20 years of my life. And I quit. I quit last year, and nobody understood why I quit. People would ask, but you know, a decision that involves 20 years of your life, you can't really answer in a couple minutes, and most people don't have time to sit and listen to a 10 or 15 minute story, or however long it takes to explain why someone's doing something that most people would never do, and they don't really understand why I would do that. So that's why I'm making this video. First,
I'll let him talk for a bit. I think the first major thing is 15 minutes, so we'll do a nice big skip in a second here, but I'll let him set it up a little more.
To help sort my own thoughts out about the whole thing, because there's a lot of factors, but also to maybe help somebody else who's in a tough spot. If they're in a tough spot like I was, maybe hearing my story will help them get out of that tough spot. I'm gonna put my hood on because there's some mosquitoes out here.
It does look looks like a lot of mosquitoes, actually.
Think without being distracted by them. So I became a doctor to help people, and I remember at the beginning of medical school, when I was just starting, there was a ceremony, and we all took a Hippocratic oath. And I remember there was one of the older faculty docs, and he said that your job as doctors is to relieve suffering. It's not to do a surgery or give a pill. It's to relieve suffering. That might be from doing a surgery or a pill, but it might be just listening, acknowledging.
So you get it, right? He's setting it up here. Why he became a doctor. Became a neurosurgeon and all that. Thank you, sir. And the first skip here is like pretty much 15 minutes in. He gets into what he was doing. He was doing surgeries. Doing surgeries. Dr. Gooby, take it away.
I was trying to help people, but these surgeries, they weren't fixing the problem. They would help some people feel better. Some people would feel the same. Some people would be worse. A lot of people I saw in clinic, I had to tell them that, oh, surgery is not going to help you. And of course, they would be devastated because I was sort of their last hope. That all weighed really heavy because I thought I was going to relieve suffering. And I did relieve some suffering, but I saw so much more suffering that I couldn't relieve, even if I tried to do surgery. I'm gonna change the battery.
So, you're following. Let me just let it go.
So, a physician assistant that I worked with, he made a good analogy that the surgeries we're doing is like this. It's like you have a house, and the roof, the top of your house has a leak somewhere, and rain water is coming down into the house, and it's ruining the drywall, and you can see it. You can see water damage. the surgeries that I could do were like going into that house, tearing down that drywall, ripping out the moldy insulation, putting in brand new insulation, and rebuilding the wall. But not fixing the leak in the roof. That's what I was doing. And the way
So you're getting it, right? He's laying it out here. We got to skip once more. Let's get to around here. Just for brevity, we'll take somewhat of our time because you got me for so long. We got plenty more time here. But let's move on. Let's skip to this part. But you're following so far. He didn't feel like he was really helping. He was just prolonging, not really getting to the source of things, but able to prolong people's lives and improve their certain issues, but didn't feel like he was helping.
You know, I had learned some of that in residency, but actually being out there and practicing and seeing what happens to people, I realized that, whoa, wait a second. This isn't quite what I thought it was. I thought that that I worked with, if I do a perfect surgery, people are going to get better. And it wasn't always the case. So over the 9 to 10 years that I was a neurosurgeon, it really bothered me. I felt that wait, there's something missing here. You know, my surgeries are not, they don't seem to be addressing what's causing people's health problems in their spine. I mean, they sort of do, but not in the way that I thought. Not in the way that I thought when I was training. And so over 9 years, I did everything I could try to do to try to figure out, wait, how do people actually get better? And how do they get worse? And you know, I had help along the way. I had a really good partner who was a pain management doc at my first job, and he really clued me into a lot of the things I'm gonna explain here. But I just started asking patients like everything I could think of. What do you normally do? What's your job? What do you eat? What do you drink? Do you smoke? Do you illicit drugs? Do you have a lot of friends? How's your family? Are you stressed out? Do you sleep well? I just would ask all my patients this whole bunch of questions about their life. And what I found was that patients that did certain things would get better, and patients who wouldn't do those things would get worse.
Dang! I mean, how much simpler can you put it? And I do appreciate Dr. Gooby taking his time. We're not going to play him at 2 times speed because the anchor baby's got too much time. And, so we do appreciate Dr. Gooby with the serenity of the background. Ignore the mosquitoes. Yeah. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, no? Ain't it 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎? I remember the other day, or a while ago now, asking somebody. I had mentioned something. I never ask people about health stuff, and I don't know why I asked this person this, but I felt like I had like a uneasy stomach a couple mornings in a row, and I'm asking him like, yeah, any tips, man? You seem like a health guy. You seem like a health guy. You got any tips for, upset stomach? And I remember thinking, this is such a stupid question. Why am I asking for the tips? Why am I asking for just don't eat? How about don't eat 2 nerds ropes right before you go to bed? Simple. Or you got parasites. Wait, what are you talking about, Costin? Are you telling me I need to do the parasite check? Shout out to early Nick stream. Because I never checked for parasites back then. I know I asked all of you and I told you all how to do it, but I never did check. And so now those parasites may have grown bigger than I ever imagined. Anyways, look, you understand? Why am I asking for the tips? Why am I asking for the little tips? It's like, live right. I'm just saying. And that's just a dumb little story to describe more of what I'm thinking here and all that. He's just like asking his patients, how are you living? Yeah, are you sleeping? Oh, and then the ones that slept and did those things were okay, and then the patients who didn't were not. Simplice. You know what I mean? I want you, let's just watch more Gooby here. We got more here. There's some more interesting things. I think we got another skip coming in. Let me check my notes. Yeah, because I think we could skip like a good another 15 minutes here. We love you, sir. Play the whole vid. I might as well. Where were we with Dr. Gooey? After he's working with his patients. Lifestyle factors. I mean, you may have heard this before, but do you really hear that? Do you really get that from advice, the world, doctors, etc.? No, I think that stuff is like scoffed at, no? Made fun of. Let me see. Gooby, go on.
Surgery might help them out a little bit, but they would get worse after that. And those things that I saw were the following. It's people that got better, people that healed, they were doing the following. And not exactly, but in general. And this is my observation. They were having a diet. Well, diet seemed to be the most important. The food that people ate and the liquids they drank. The ones that would heal up, they had a low salt diet. It wasn't really salty. And most of them ate mostly plant-based foods, like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans.
Uh-oh. That's the chat. The Spidey says everyone's going off right now.
And
calm down.
This is not like a vegan rant or anything. I'm not vegan.
I've noticed this. I've noticed this too. And this is just observation. I'm not a neurosurgeon. I'm just saying I've observed similar things in that. I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Some people, when you're saying healthy, it means like how much can you perform? Can you perform? Can you lift a lot? Can you perform? And that's definitely part of it. Definitely. I mean, I think more on the VO2 side of things, if you ask me personally. I'm not a neurosurgeon. I'm not a kinesiologist, whatever you call it. But more on the VO2 side, meaning how much oxygen your body is able to efficiently convert and put into your bloodstream for your organs, VO2 and all that. And that's like cardiovascular health and all that. Definitely part of it, but what was I saying? That I've observed a similar thing on not vegans, yeah, but sort of vegetarians and stuff like this. Everything is fake. I said maybe, and it just turned into it turned into a 12 o'clock show. But where was I? I'm just saying I've observed something similar. Long living, thin, like relatively low fat on their bodies, but healthy looking and long living, still eating protein, but a lot of plants. Not telling you how to eat. That's not how I eat. But I've already said this. Let's keep going. Dr. Gooby, thank you.
Enjoy a steak or sushi every once in a while. I'm just describing what I saw over 9 years of doing spine surgery. The people that got better were having a mostly plant-based diet. They weren't eating too much animal foods, and they were definitely not eating salty, and they would do things that would make them sweat, like exercise, being outside, hiking like this, going to a sauna, or they live in a warm place.
Who's living the longest at Bond?
They didn't smoke. They didn't drink much. They usually had a good social support, like loved ones, family members, children, friends.
So let's skip once more. Let's definitely skip that part. Yeah, don't know what you're talking about there, Goob. Yeah, we're just gonna skip over that. That's just nonsense. I'm messing around. The next skip was 25 minutes in. Appreciate you chilling out with the anchor baby here as we watch. Where were we? I think this is it right here. 25, let's go.
People will say, wait, how is that a problem that you figured out how people are healing? It's a problem because our medical system isn't set up this way. I'm not knocking any hospital or group that I worked with. I had the privilege to work with really amazing people in amazing hospitals, amazing institutions. But the way that everything is set up in the whole country, it's not any particular hospital. The way things are set up is that the hospital needs to make money. They need to make money, they need to grow economically. They need to grow economically. And the problem there is that if you figure out a way to help patients heal, and that way doesn't include a pill or a surgery, well, then the hospital and the doctor are in big trouble, because if you figure out a way to help people heal and you can't charge them for it, well, then you've just worked yourself out of a job. Let's just say, like for example, there's a hospital in a town, and there's an X amount of people with back problems, and the hospital, there's a doctor, say it was like me, Dr. Gooby, was doing, we'll just say 100 spine surgeries in a year to fix the people in the community's backs. And the hospital got paid, Dr. Gooby got paid.
Get paid,
and,
let's go.
It continued. Every year, 100 people needed surgery from Dr. Gooby. Well, the hospital,
they're paying for it.
Happy. Dr. Gooby gets paid. Dr. Gooby may not be happy with his life, but he's getting paid, and the hospital's getting paid. But if Dr. Gooby figures out, hey, yeah, you know what, this surgery can help some people, but really the best thing that people can do is eat a certain way, exercise, sleep, meditate, be mindful, not be stressed, hang out with their loved ones and friends, and then their back problems will get better.
What? We're going to have to back that up. For the people in the back.
Sleep, meditate, be mindful, not be stressed, hang out with their loved ones and friends, and then their back problems will get better.
Huh.
And if Dr. Gooby actually recommended that to his patients, and they actually did get better, well, it's a big problem for Dr. Gooby's paycheck and the hospital.
So that's a little bit on that, and I do want to end it off with one last segment here where he, he gets the support of his wife. But yeah, fascinating. No, I do appreciate you sitting with me there. Let me see here. Maybe I can let more of that play. I think we're almost done here. Let me just a little bit more.
Because let's say in that town, let's say everybody ate more veggies and fruits. They really watched the salt intake. They did things that made them sweat, like being outside in the summer, exercising, enjoying fresh air and the nature, and spending time with their loved ones. And they slept 8 hours every day, and they meditated, and they weren't stressed out. Let's just say everybody who had back problems in that town did that, and they got better. They healed. Then nobody needs spine surgery anymore. In fact, they probably don't need it.
See, I didn't watch all this. I didn't know he was doing like spine surgeries and all that. I saw a whole bunch of this fresh with you just at least this past 25 minutes here. I hadn't seen all that. But where was I? Gooby, fascinating stuff here on the mentality of certain things. Why things won't get better. And you can probably apply this to so many things. To the whole government, all the way down to yourself. All the way down to yourself. On what your incentive structure is. Your internal incentive structure, which I just made up. Your IIS, your internal incentive structure, is geared for evil. You get a hunger pang, and you're like, you get some thought of hunger or something. You're like, yeah, we need to get down with some, I don't know, crud. And we'll eat apples tomorrow. You know what I mean? Your internal incentive structure, you get a little thought, you look at a friend, you look at your so-called loved ones, and you think, man, why are they looking so good? F them, or just this little goblin inside you. Whatever it may look like. You know what I mean? Jealousy, strife. And you go with that. It's exciting. You sit in it. You whatever. And then you're like, okay, no, let me stop. And then you go and eat chips, and you feel better. And your whole internal incentive is structure. And you got to. So we'll get to that in a second. Like I'm saying here, you could probably apply a lot of this mentality to the world, to yourself. Why things won't get better. It's all geared to evil, and it's not, and you have the wrong direction. It's just the wrong direction. As opposed to focusing and sweating the details. Oh, but you're lying, but you're sexing, but you're drugging. Instead of sweating the details. The direction is all wrong. For everyone, or at least the majority, Christians. And the incentive is what? To never really get better. To never really change. And I mean, like, when I say change right then, I meant like the things that you sort of can change, like, right, like habits, your money, and accepting the things you can't change so that there may be some sort of light, some sort of insight that you don't see yet in your life that'll let you drop something. But it comes down to dropping stuff. And if you ask me personally, not accepting what you think is you. You've heard it said. It's not you, this evil. But you don't know. But the thing is you only heard that. You still think it's you. And the most common thing in the world that I notice, it's Christian, it's Bond, it's non-Christian everywhere, is people accept the not you. Even the people who call it not you. They'll just sit around saying, well, it's just not me. And I don't know why I believe thoughts. I know it's thoughts, it's not me, but I'm just sitting here believing thoughts. And I don't mean to be so flippant or high and mighty. It's never that, ever high and mighty. Like I'm not, like I don't understand, but I can't do this whole accept who I am kind of thing. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So don't accept your mess. Like imagine accepting like you're just, I just suck, or I'm a failure at this or that. And just accepting that. What I'm trying to say with all that is that you can work on things, okay? You can get better. What else did I want to say about this? Yeah. Just Gooby here makes me think about many things. How people actually get better. How do you actually get better? Dr. Gooby asked. Great question. Vigilance. Work. I know you've heard it said, of yourself you can do nothing. It's true. But I'm not talking about working on changing your personality in some way where you think about it and you lay it out and you're like, okay, I'm going to say things this way. And no, I'm just talking about showing up with the right attitude. That's showing faith in a sense. That is faith. You heard, let's say, for example, you heard, all thoughts are lies. That laziness and that fear is not you. And so you heard that and you're like, okay, great, it's not me. And you feel fear and you run away from the situation, but you're like, but it's not me. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Bond. It's not me, and I feel better now. No, you still gotta show up. You still gotta show up, and feeling the fear and everything. Am I making some sense there? Come on. How do you actually get better? It requires like a consistency that comes from true desire. And there, in that situation, that moment when I said the word desire, I mean, really wanting to get better, really wanting, not just wanting to get better for real. I don't know how else to put it other than the person who really wants to get better does. Something I've noticed. So if you're not, slow down and have a moment of reflection and think about all the things you're just saying and thinking. Okay? Moderation, exercise, watching salts intake, no stress. No stress, he said, no stress twice. And the mind, your internal world. And your internal world is everything. Your internal world tells you your fears, what you can and can't do. Your internal world tells you, keeps you in a circle, spinning your wheels. When there's nothing you have to do other than the next thing. There's nothing you lost. There's nothing you need to make up for. Okay? All those things you lost are part of the process in a sense. I have a friend, they're like, I can't save money. I don't know how to save money. They're like, I care about this person. oh, I want to, someone else has got to take my money and just punish me or something. And so I wonder, do you want money or do you want discipline? Because in one sense, you could give all your money to someone who handles that better. But on the other hand, if you want discipline, it may require you losing it all. Things I'm thinking about. And to that, and accepting, and just like accepting who you are in a sense. Oh, I'm just irresponsible. Anyways, now I've entered quiet. I think I've been in ramble mode for a bit now. We've definitely entered the ramble stream. Hopefully I'm making some sense. Healing and many things here. What else did I want to say about this? Moderation. What else? No stress. Isn't that interesting? Watching the thoughts. Okay, look. What else did I want to do here? Let's finish up here. Anyways, look. The doctor quit, and the whole medical system wants to make money. Like we didn't know, but we had someone on the inside there giving us a little story on that. Okay, it's a line. They want to keep you sick to keep making money. Okay, and it's kind of interesting that you kind of have you have the tools within. You have the tools within. In many cases, I think here to heal even. Isn't that interesting? Come on. Neurosurgeon. Cigarettes reduce stress, so you should smoke them to be healthy. Carver, didn't you just hear the man? He said people that don't smoke. Plus, I don't think that these cigarette smokers are really all that unstressed. You know what I mean? I don't really get that impression. I don't get this impression that these cigarette smokers are really so devoid of stress. Think how bad Bill just said. Think how bad they would be without it. Right. I'm just saying. Exactly. They don't really seem like people without stress. I'm so relaxed right now. I just need to smoke, man. I'm relaxing, man. I'm relaxed. Anyways, maybe all the smokers I saw worked in the kitchens, and I didn't. That's not really unstressed people. And another thing too. Here's why talking about internal incentive structures and whatever I made up, but you follow me, right? Those desires you have and how you feed it, and you have the life you want, really. On all that, as all that is percolating in the mind, why smoke? Like, let's go with smoking, vaping. Let's say a vape that has no nicotine even. Now what are you gonna say is so bad about that, huh? It's about this little. It's honestly about the training. It's about the training, and the way you're trained. We're trained, okay? We are so trained. We're so trained, and it has. And do you understand me? What I mean by the training? It's you're self-training, or you're trained by an industry. I don't know what's training you, but you're being trained. To pick up this thing. With it's like a compulsion, and then every time the thought comes up, there's no space. It's just grab, go. Before it was like, should I have a cigarette? Maybe I should have a cigarette. Now it's just there's no space there. Now it's just automatic. Do you understand what I mean by the training? So I noticed that with oral fixations, let's call it, cigarettes or vapes or. If there's something if you wanted to get down to the nitty gritty and be like, well, why is it really bad? And careful with calling things wrong and right, but it's really it has to always do with the reaction to the world, in my opinion. You can always kind of really, in my opinion, you can use this as a sort of guide, how you react, right? And your internal reaction to vaping, cigarettes, these kinds of things, as harmless as they may seem or as benign as they may seem, maybe even coffee, think about that. It's the compulsion and the training, and it's the no space, and you're kind of a person who's more willing to be trained in other ways because you're so used to this training. Am I making some sense here? Because you can rationalize it a million ways. Now they got the vapes, they have no nicotine. You could think about that. If there's anything in your life that has this training effect on you, maybe, have this. This is what Bond means by awareness, by the way. Not, I'm 500 days without cigarettes and I'm just a good person and I'm strong now. But, I gotta do like, 60 Islamic prayers. Anyways, I'm just ramble streaming. Look, it's just, where am I lying? Come on. Where am I lying? At training, we're trained by everything around us. So, yeah. Why oral compulsion people gotta figure it out, bud. You gotta figure it out, okay? A Canadian tells you to figure it out. That's like bad, man. That's like you get a figure it out from somebody. It's like you're really not looking at yourself. There's something you're big time missing, and it's time to figure it out. It's like pretty bad. It's like it's up there with calling someone a goof, something you don't really want to call someone. Depends on the Canadian. But it's like the Canadian N-word. Figure it out, bud. Like, let's say you're like, you come into work and you're like, it's like you're coming into work, you're like late, but you're like, oh, it's my friends at work though. It's okay. I'll come in. And you come in, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. But don't worry. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it going. And then one of your friends is like, figure it out, man. It's like, boom. It's like, slow down. And we'll look at your life, because you got to figure it out. Okay, it's like it's like the F word. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's like Knicker, but Canadian. Like, figure it out, man. Figure it out, bud. Be fit to be fit. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says a whole chat of carb addicts. Don't judge the carb addicts. Be fit to be fit. Thank you for the super chat. A whole chat of them. A whole chat of carb addicts. How could it be? You don't want to be a carb addict? You don't want to be a carb addict? I don't think that's what Dr. Gooby was observing. And it's definitely not what the same observations I was describing in my life are definitely people who, it's definitely not, they don't eat a lot. It was similar to what Dr. Gooby was describing there on, they ate mostly plants. And he was saying this is not a vegan, pro-vegan thing. I'm just telling you what I observed. And yeah, I've observed what seems to be pretty healthy people, and they mainly don't eat a lot. They don't eat little, but they really don't eat a lot. Just 1 or 2 meals a day, and they eat to be sated, right? Sated, and they eat a lot of greens, leafy stuff. And they'll eat pizza and they'll eat stuff too. But stuff I've seen. Okay, whatever. Greens are toxic crap. See, I don't know if you missed it, Beef to be fit, but I know I know the moment that when we were watching that video, and that Dr. Gooby said that plant comment, that the minds would go off, but hold on the judgment. Just hold on it. Where was the man wrong? Okay, where was he wrong? Fascinating stuff. I do appreciate the super chat, though. I'd love to see some stuff on being healthy in the way you're talking about. Mo Betta, thank you so much for the coffee. That's 10 coffee. Wow, thank you so much, Mo Betta. This is besides our our anonymous benefactor who is sponsoring the rest of this week's shows with an amazing donation. If you're hearing me, your request has not gone to deaf ears. We'll be getting right to it. A little patience. But it is an evening show tomorrow. Mo Betta, thank you so much, says, after hearing Adele using her actual British voice on Hake's show, it makes you realize she is racist and is capitalizing on the blackface America, already addressed by singing in a retro 1960s African-American voice. African British do not speak like how she sings. All of her music, she sings with a fake black American voice. Interesting. And then she switches back and talks to other Brits with her normal Brit voice. Racist. Blackface voice. Adele is a demon in sheep's clothing trying to influence your little girls. Mock's song intro. Hold up, folks. We're deciphering the coffee. I'm guessing this is an Adele song. They's a chill burning inside. Oh. If she was representing African British, she would start something like, woo boo ba boo boo, you bloody fa'in slag. Funny stuff, Mo Betta. Thank you for your super chat. Adele, yeah, you saw that on the Hake Report? I feel like I can think of a number of British singers who, when they sing, they sound like American. James Blake, one that comes to mind. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a singing voice type thing. Amazing. I appreciate the support. Thank you, Mo Betta. Mo Betta, Beef It to Be Fit. Thank you. The Hake Report. Appreciate the support. How you doing, Beta Legs? We got another one. Kale Samogi says, amazing show, Nick. We were talking about this on Joel's show. The bond knowledge can be an excuse to abuse our body and become lackluster. Yeah, that was interesting, Kale. I'm trying to remember the full conversation. But that was super interesting. Yeah, I think I heard someone say, I don't know who it was. They were like, I used God's peace to smoke weed. But it's like, what am I saying with that? Look, that doesn't sound like God's peace. So, I mean, Joel already handled that beautifully. Thinking you were somewhere is a mistake. Thinking thinking to yourself, I am born again, I'm free. There's these things you can't even put in words. And you're going around claiming stuff. Yeah, you don't smoke pot when you're full of peace. You just don't. And that's no big deal. That's no big deal to realize that you may not have this peace or whatever. It's really no big. It's actually a beautiful thing. Who are you, says Mint Tree Fitty. Give me $5 on that Tree Fitty. Thank you so much. Who are you? And that's the name of the person. Leo Gonzalez with a super chat says, nerds rope money. I've grown up. I grew up, Leo Gonzalez. I drink milk before bed. I'm a man, okay? So, yeah. Fascinating. What else here? That's everybody. Super chats. Thank you so much for the support. Again, tomorrow, I will be back Thursday for an evening show. That'll be around 4 p.m., maybe even earlier. So hit the notification bell because tomorrow and Friday, we're doing evening shows as we do Beef It to Beef It says with a super chat here, I cannot imagine having the name Kale. Who's named Kale? Who got the name Kale? They named me Kale. They named me Kale. That's the name of a vegetable. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I just realized who you're talking about, most likely. Roger Laser won't be forgotten with us. Getting in a super chat says, please put this towards Hake's musical picks intervention. Okay. Why does Hake get all this hate on the music taste? And I get all this love, like, wow, Nick's got such a great music taste. Like, may I for one moment? Because everything Hake's played, somehow Hake has been able to sonically find everything I'm sonically into. You understand what I'm saying? Like, literally, and I'm not talking generally speaking either. Like, the sound profile of some of this music hits and tickles exactly what I've been looking for in many different genres, but he found it Christian somehow. So shout out to the Hake Report. I may be into some other things. But on what he plays, I'm telling you, sonically speaking, he somehow found that, but Christian, and it's impressive. Thank you for the support, Roger Laser. And I think that's all for now, as they say. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow. For evening stuff, okay? Nick Stream style. Take care, y'all. Appreciate you being with me today. Bye. See you tomorrow.